get to focus on exploration, dungeon crawling, things like that. I would want very little plot.
Except for like the events that you're doing
Right,
that would affect the world.
right.
I guess I should have probably specified further. Let's say, because, like Fallout and Skyrim and all that stuff, those are not like, I guess, yeah, JRPGs is a better way to describe what I'm talking about. Or at least, I don't know, just for this particular genre. We can talk about other RPGs later, but,
Right.
I was more focusing on, like JRPGs.
Mechanics.
Yeah, exactly.
I like wisdom. It's the best stat.
God damn it. All right.
Healing is pretty cool.
Alright, if we're talking about JRPGs and stuff, I would definitely have to go with a good combat system, because a good combat system is something that's memorable to me. Like, for example, look at Xenogears, if you've ever played that. That game has a very interesting combat system. Like, it played like something I haven't played before I played that game. And when I played that, I wanted to keep playing. So, even when I was actually doing the grinding part, it didn't feel like grinding because it felt fun.
Can
It
you
was
explain
just
that? I
so
never
different.
actually played Xenogears. Can you explain
Me
how the
either.
comic goes?
No.
God
Is it
damn
kind of tiled based? Like you can
No,
move
no,
your
no, no.
character around, or
It's not. It was a turn-based combat system, but it was also like real time in sense of like reactions, I believe. And on top of that, that was the on the ground combat. There's also the combat of in mechs. You had the combination of person combat and then mech fighting suit combat. And both of them had their own different feel. And it just gave it a whole, refreshing feeling switching back between the two depending on what situation you're at. On top of that, it was also a linear progression, but with a sense of like how Final Fantasy was, where you got the open world, but you still knew where you're supposed to be going.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that how it all worked together like that. It felt right.
So,
Another one.
I was
would-
just
that
gonna
would
say,
be okay.
one sec, like that just seems like a. How was that different from like a Final Fantasy combat system if it's just turn based?
It's not just turn-based though. It was turn-based, but it also had some like real Paper Mario.
I never played that
example.
either.
So are
damn
you,
it.
are you about to say like the best mechanic, which I'm about to say is time attacks?
God damn it.
I wouldn't say it's time attacks, but I would.
I love timed attacks. They're so fucking.
They
like,
really
doing them
are.
every time.
I don't know. It's kind of like why I like Tifa's thing. I was about to say Tifa's
Beat
Final
Rush.
Smash,
And
but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, Beat Rush. Like those things are fun to me. I like that.
Well, those are
And-
in a lot of. Those are in like almost every Final Fantasy. Actually, now that I think about it.
what you like are QTEs.
I need more QTEs in my life.
Uh,
Absolutely.
just rain God of War on you
should've
everywhere.
played Shinmu.
God.
Another good one though. Chrono Trigger's combat system was also really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's just classic.
I know, but it was so
So-
good.
Just the ATB where you fill up a bar and then you attack.
Yeah, well, there was that, but there was also like when you can combine two fighters to do a special move
Oh
and stuff.
right.
Yeah, that was
Combined
pretty
text,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Dope.
really cool. And then like how it transitioned into the fight, where it didn't have to go to a whole nother screen.
It was still the same
Yeah.
background and everything.
At the time, that was some really cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, because you always had to like switch scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
that was pretty cool.
I like that. I like that a lot. Tales of Symphonia, not what I meant to say. Tales of Fantasia, also a really cool fighting system.
The hell
it was
was
like a-
that?
Holy shit, dude! Your JRPGs are slacking. Tales of
I never played
Symphonia.
it either.
Not I keep saying Symphonia. Tales of Fantasia. It was a Super Nintendo game. It was like a 2D fighting game almost, but it had RPG elements and so like turn-based attacks. Like if you could like, I don't think you can actually. You wouldn't be able to look it up.
Not right
But
now.
like a video of it, it's just. I don't know. It combined the best of both worlds of like a 2D fighting game with turn-based combat at the time.
Hmm.
And you like your companions fought with you and did their stuff alongside you, so like it felt like a real actual fight going on.
Huh.
Don't forget Robotech, man.
Robotech. I feel like I know what you're talking about when you say that.
It's a JRPG where you would build robots and then you can upgrade their arms and body and like there were different builds for each one. But it was kind of like Pokemon in a way.
Oh
But-
fuck! Yep,
but they were-
Robotrek.
Trek, that was it.
Oh my
Robotech
god,
is the Animu.
dude! Robotrek was so fucking fun.
It really was.
I forgot all about that game. I gotta want to play now. I love that. I gotta fucking stream that sometime. Oh fuck. All right. Sorry.
I'd watch
Someone else
that.
continue. Please do. Oh God. Anyway, next. Someone go.
In action games, I like wall climbing.
Yeah, me too.
God damn it.
Feels really good.
Are you just talking about
Me
like
boy wouldn't do that.
just like vertical scaling kind of thing, or like actually like wall jumping and shit?
I like both kind of like Mega Man X style, and I also like in Super Meat Boy where jumping left and right really fast makes a difference.
Oh,
It
so
gets
you like
momentum.
the like really tight controls, like where you can like move in the air and shit.
Oh yeah, that shit's dope.
Snake.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Me too, actually. I like normal
Yeah.
gravity.
Yeah. But I can definitely appreciate games like Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry. Action games that require you to build up a certain amount of skill. Games that are satisfying when you beat a boss.
Like Dark Souls.
Oh man,
Like
that was
Dark
so
Souls.
good.
Nerd Souls.
Nerd Souls.
Ah, it's funny. 'cause-
Not so much with Dark Souls 2, I think. I didn't really get that feeling too much.
Well, I think
that
because we
satisfaction.
were just good enough at the game at that point.
Yeah.
From so much experience.
But Lords of the Fallen, though, despite its shortcomings, I'm having a great amount of fun with it.
You are? Seriously?
Yes,
I liked it more than Dark Souls 2. I'll say it right there.
as do I.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
What? I
did.
completely disagree.
In regard to like the PvP aspect of Dark Souls 2, sure, but in terms of PvE, the exploration is so much more enjoyable.
Yep.
Seriously. I think every single boss in that game is terrible.
I'm not talking about the bosses. I'm talking about the level design, like the dungeon crawl feel of it.
There's like 4 levels in the entire game, though.
And they're well
Are they?
done levels.
I guess.
They-
There's just
They
not
feel
much.
very large.
No, there's seriously like there's only like 4 load screens in like the entire, and there's like what? There's like
Because
the
it's amazingly optimized.
it's shittily optimized. It crashes all the time.
I think it got better.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if they patched it. Honestly, I haven't played it in a while because it
Gavin,
kept crashing. Go ahead. Though.
I haven't finished it, so you have more insight to this than I do.
I don't know.
Sadly wasn't able to finish it either because I had to deal with some stuff at the time. But I got really far, and it was just better. Sorry.
I don't
Carry
know.
on.
That's very subjective, but
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I like the combat in the game. I thought that was actually pretty good. Like it had a definite heaviness and weight to it, but I don't know.
I thought the combat just felt nicer in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
you
definitely
felt
not the
more
weak point.
like I'm in control of what's going on.
See, I feel like that's less than that compared to Dark Souls because you're slower. Everything is slower. The heavy attacks, like from big weapons, take like 3 seconds to do, and you get interrupted. It's sauna.
It's terrible.
It encourages you to be like fat and wear fat armor and all that stuff. I don't be a fat rolling Havel, goddammit.
Why not?
That's not his playstyle.
It's fat. My
I was
playstyle's
wearing-
best. God,
You're talking about in Lords of the Fallen, right?
yeah.
I was wearing light armor and dual wielding the whole time.
Yeah,
had
no, I
issues.
know. But I'm saying like because you can't like use heavy weapons in that game. Like Snake, you're just using like a long sword or something, right? Of course.
I'm switching up because
Oh.
a longsword just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, true. But like you just can't use heavy weapons in that game without having
No.
heavy armor. They're just unbearably slow. But I don't know. I really completely disagree with that. Like I've never not given a shit about the lore of a game so much.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Then.
am no, the lore in that game
Yeah.
it's inadmissible. You can't even
It doesn't.
compare it to anything.
It's like a fucking Mortal Kombat story campaign. You don't
Yeah,
play
that's
Mortal
exact-
Kombat
That's a perfect way to describe it.
for the story. You play it for the game.
That's the perfect description of the depth of that storyline. But
Yeah.
so then, Snake, what the hell do you like about it then? You keep saying you like it so much compared to Dark Souls 2.
I like playing it more.
All right,
In terms of okay, when we went through Dark Souls 2, think back to the level design.
Mhm.
Compare that to the level design of Lords of the Fallen.
Okay.
The level design in Dark Souls 2 felt very much forced and lacking. The level design in Lords of the Fallen felt full.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, are there instances where you can find those secret ladders that you kick down and stuff like that?
Yep.
That's just an example, not a like exact thing.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen again. There's this whole section that you can't even get to unless you run through a wall with your shield out.
Yeah, I didn't know about that for a while. Dude,
Yeah,
that
Junk
that
had no
area
idea when I
sucked.
told him.
There were like
Yeah.
those spiders that wreck you early in the game.
I went there as an early level, and I was very unhappy.
Yeah. There's a really good fist weapon in there, though.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
use for a
actually
lot of the
what I
game.
got really early on. Like, I went there as the new character. I ran in there, ran past all the spiders, did that really fast, and then I was just unstoppable for a while.
Yeah, that's actually... Alright, so I kind of understand what you're saying, but I mean, I will admit that it has better world design, aesthetically. It does look cooler. Like it has the whole kind of Dark Souls 1, everything's connected feel way more than Dark Souls 2. But
Right.
I feel like that's the only good thing about the game. That's it.
Well, that's the only reason why I play the game.
So you don't care about the combat or story or bosses
Well,
or...
I feel like the bosses are... No boss that I fought so far was wowing for me.
And none of them will be. They're all they're all pretty bad.
I don't really get any WoW feel from Dark Souls 2 bosses.
Yeah, there aren't...
yeah.
Well,
The DLC rectified that a lot,
yeah.
but
I haven't touched the DLC, so I'm not sure.
yeah.
Also, wasn't there another DLC announced recently?
Yeah, what's up with that? You have to rebuy Dark Souls, or what's
I
going
don't
on?
know the specifics exactly, and it's too early to really say. But apparently, because like what they're doing, they're re-releasing Dark Souls 2 for PS4 and Xbox One with apparently like the original lighting system. You know how it looked at E3.
Whoa, really?
Please understand.
Yeah,
I did not know that. That's cool.
yeah. So they are doing that, and for PS4 and Xbox, that's really cool. That makes sense because
Yeah.
it gives people a chance at those consoles to actually play the game. But for PC, they're basically making you re-buy the game so it'll run on DirectX 11. Basically, there's no reason to do that on PC at all because it's not a different console. You just all it needs is a patch. That's all it needs.
So they're shitheads.
Yeah, basically they're being shitheads to PC. So that's why we don't know enough about it yet. But for PS4 and Xbox One players, that'll be pretty
So
cool. But...
Reddit is gonna be mad.
Oh, Reddit is furious.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
As
Just
usual.
all I need to know.
Boycott everything!
Yep.
And then everyone's buying it.
Everyone's buying it.
Yeah,
Dude, I made a
pretty
Twitter
much.
status like earlier today. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna fucking buy it. Of course I'm gonna buy it. What am I
Of
thinking?
course. Yeah.
Good to
What were
know.
we talking about again?
Lords of the Fallen being better than Dark Souls 2?
Well, you're wrong.
I wouldn't say that it's better. I just enjoy playing it more.
I think it's a
And-
nice alternative.
Fine.
That distinction may seem sort of arbitrary, but
Well-
I enjoy delving into the Dark Souls lore much more than many other action games I've played. So I will give it that. But PvE wasn't nearly as enjoyable to me. It just wasn't.
I guess that's fair.
I feel like it's kind of like sometimes you feel like Marvel vs. Capcom, sometimes you feel like Street Fighter. It's just two different types of the same thing. So I feel like Lords of the Fallen is just, dive kick.
God damn it. That was. Yeah, I love how you listed two examples of two different things, then you just brought in dive kick at the end.
Why not? It's like the same thing.
All right. Yeah, I have a better way to. I feel like there's not enough genres to keep this conversation going. So I'll just say, what is a unique mechanic of a game that you played that stood out as like, wow, that is like amazing? Russ, will start with you again.
When it came out for its time, I thought that Minecraft's world that generated over time was really fucking amazing.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
there's a lot of games that have algorithms that do that now, so it's becoming a staple. But when it first came out, I thought I was like, oh, endless playability. I'm never gonna stop.
And then you stop.
And then, it gets
And then
boring
everyone
after a while.
stops.
And it's like, I've seen this before. Get out of my face.
That's actually a really good example, though. Like, that's a perfect example. I'm talking about things that set trends like that are that memorable, and like that is a really good example. Cry.
Well,
What you got?
Shit, if we're talking about setting trends, all the goddamn indie horror games lately.
Well,
When
not even
Amnesia took
lightly,
your
just-
weapons away, though, that was pretty neat. Like,
Yeah.
no one expected that.
that
And
is a
lot of
very good
people-
example. Yeah.
And people are still like, "Oh, it doesn't have weapons. I don't want to play it." But once you do, it was a good game. It was a great game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then everyone else started doing it, and then we were like, oh,
It's not a good game anymore. We're
that's
hipsters.
bad.
But in Slender, you get a flashlight. You can shine at people.
Yay!
Yeah,
Actually, does we have Amnesia to thank for this currently happening right now?
Yep.
it's true.
I wouldn't know you fuckers.
It's so weird when you think about
Yeah.
that.
I wouldn't have a job.
I might have known of John from Penumbra, I guess. I don't know.
Nerds.
Trying to mod the hell out of that.
So, all right, that was a very good example. Amnesia has saved all of our lives.
Yep.
That is currently number 1 right now. Snake beat it.
Just beat
I don't
it.
know if I can do that.
Well, all right. Seriously though, like in terms of game mechanics.
I'm trying to think. The only, like, the big thing that comes to mind for me was the jump in camera style and general combat mechanics from MGS3 to MGS4.
How did it change though?
Really?
Well, I mean,
CQC,
the
or
CQC was obviously
system.
was obviously different.
The original MGS4 didn't have. Well, I don't even think Snake Eater has the same style of camera as or rather, Subsistence. I don't think that has the same style of camera.
Oh, you're
as
talking about
MGS4.
the fixed camera versus free rotation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the way aiming works in MGS4 is completely different. The way the weapon selection itself, the way it all handles is going from MGS3 to that was jarring, and I enjoyed playing the hell out of MGO when it was still up.
Man, I never played that. I heard it was really fun, and they shut it
was-
down, right?
It was frustrating for me. I couldn't handle it.
How so?
I never got to touch it.
How so? Oh, I don't know. People were just way too good when I played it.
Oh.
I was like at the end of the 4 months before it died, and so people were just like flip you over, shoot you in the head, and walk off. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, that game was brutal. I loved it.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's not really like that wasn't a revolution or anything. They just changed the camera and the combat system and things like that. I'm
Well,
looking for more like mechanics that have never been done before, kind of thing.
Kind of like when Portal 2 brought out painting the walls with all the stuff. I thought that
Oh,
was pretty
yeah.
fucking
Yeah, that was amazing.
Was able to get sloppy.
Now that I
Also-
think
How,
about it, I can't really
how the
think of it.
portals themselves were like mind blowing when I first saw it.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Have
Because
you seen the tech demo for the whole reason why Portal wasn't like made in the first place?
No.
It was like some really like trippy little like girl with telekinesis, and it was like fucking Annie pretty much from League of Legends,
Hmm.
and she had like a bear and shit, and she was like it was really weird. But that's the whole reason why Portal was even started is because Valve saw that team, and they're like, "Yo, come work with us," and we're like, "Okay, go make a game today."
Mm-hmm.
So
Usually
what
that's
they
how
did.
it works now.
Yeah.
Valve always does that. They always
Yeah.
just pick up random games and make them beautiful.
And
Also-
Valveify them.
Totally random, but I actually really like fixed camera games. Like,
you like Resident Evil kind of?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
games like that, I really, really enjoy them. Like,
Play Onimusha.
I need to do that. I
It's
do.
fixed
Sorry. In
Oh yeah, it is.
It
I remember
is.
that now.
Final
Kind of
Fantasy
like Dino
VII.
Crisis with swords.
Final Fantasy VII was fixed camera.
Yep.
I really enjoyed playing that game.
How
I
about
need more.
how about the mechanic when the nemesis would follow you through doors?
That was revolutionary at the time.
yeah, exactly.
That was terrifying.
It
Nemesis
was.
Were you not expecting him to follow you through something?
You
Well,
just
that
hear
was
the
the
door
first-
slam and you're stars. And you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, that was the first time in the series that they had enemies, with the exception of RE2 and that one hunter in RE1, and maybe the one that opens the door, the cutscene zombie in RE1. There are 3 instances total, and they were all cutscene based, where enemies followed you through doors.
They were all events, but this one would actually follow you.
Yes.
So it was like Aoni.
Actually, there's Mr.
Goddamn.
X in RE2. He would break through walls, but it was still all scripted.
Right. But he wouldn't actually like pursue you. There's a distance you could probably go to get away from him, though.
Well, once you left a certain area, when he showed up, he wouldn't follow you.
Right,
And he would pop
exactly.
up again later. Nemesis would follow you fucking everywhere.
I think that's also an interesting thing is when people take like an engine like an RPG Maker engine and turn it into something that's actually scary from like a 2D game made to be made for RPGs.
Yeah, nowadays if
turn
you
it
can
into,
make
like-
an actual scary game in RPG Maker, that's impressive.
Yeah, like it turns into a horror narrative instead of like I'm gonna go and save the world today and shit like that.
Yeah.
You turn it into something completely different, and it's very interesting. I mean, there's a shit ton of them now, but
Yeah, I
Like-
thought Ao Oni was actually pretty freaky.
yeah, exactly. Like
I
if-
remember. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if like Amnesia came out today, it wouldn't be as scary, for example, because
Right.
all the other stuff